And potentially the increment at the end of any sprint is supposed to be done. And you might say done might mean, I looked this up in the dictionary, check it. It says there's no work left to be done. I was like, wow, that's pretty clever. And if you understand that and you all use the same definition, then it's pretty obvious what we mean by it. The failure to have an absolutely transparent definition of done is the undoing of everything that you try to do in Scrum. Literally, if I walk into an organization, I'll say, without even, shaking hands and that, can you show me your definition of done? And if there's a pause, if there's a stutter, if there's a, it depends, then they're in deep trouble.
Indeed, beautiful people, welcome to the virtual Agile Lounge with your coach AF here. How are you today on this beautiful Friday, October the 22nd already? Isn't it amazing that 2021 is going away like we wish a lot of other things are going away? The elephant in the room that the LinkedIn community don't want to talk about, is it right? So I'm Alexandre Frédéric Joly, your host of the Friday Live Agile 40th episode today, and we are going to expand on what our great master Ken Schreiber, co-founder of Scrum, at talking about its entire life since he embarked with Jeff Sutherland and building this Manifesto systems. Yes, I remind you that Scrum is a system. And without further ado, I would like to go first and again I'm thankful, I'm very grateful, and I would like to thank the new 8 subscriber. I'm over 400 now. The road to 500 is still there, so please help me. How could you do that? Actually, it's very simple. You're new to this channel of business agility, Scrum all the way, and sometimes crypto agile with the real Bitcoin blockchain revolution, because we are all about business agility with decentralized everything from decentralized finance to decentralized and liberated structure. So you subscribe and you hit the bell every Friday at noonish Eastern time, 11 Central, 5 o'clock p.m. in the UK, and 6 p.m. on Northern Africa in Central Europe. I am live with you with a subject on everything that touch business agility, conscious leadership, and of course, Scrum, my passion for Scrum, the real Scrum. And this is what I'd like to talk about it today. Please help me beat the algorithm by liking this video, share it to a friend or a random professional who would like to know more about these amazing time that we are here right now. And so how long does a typical discovery session take? I'm asking the Agile coach especially and other Scrum Master out there, how long does a typical discovery session, take to understand your customer requirements, the acceptance criteria, and definition of done? Tell me, as a consultant, or maybe as an owner, as a business owner, do you, and especially the Agile coach, do you propose assessment or discovery session when sharing a new mission? Okay. Do you do that? So please in the comment tell me. And or do you go straight to an agreement of a DoD? We'll talk about it right after that. Yes, amazing and beautiful people, Agile Loungers, lovers of business agility, innovation, authentic leadership. Welcome once again to the Friday Live Agile at this 40th episode. It's been 40 weeks, almost straight in a row, that I'm sharing my passion about everything and all thing business, agility, and Scrum as a Scrum Master myself from the last century. Yes, that's a beautiful title, isn't it? Scrum Master since the last century, because I had my first experience with a bunch of crazy, amazing programmer and software engineer over at SoftSim Technology, doing great things with them. They asked me, the leadership asked me to be a project manager, but the engineer asked me to be a Scrum Master. But before we stump upon this great subject, I would like to thank Maël, Jean, and Yuan for their tipping, all in Bitcoin. I love it. And this week, we had the all-time high, and hold it. If you have Bitcoin, hold it. But thank you to them for sending me their appreciation. It's a tip to appreciate my volunteering of doing this every week, like a Scrum, Courage, Focus, teaching us every week. I'm doing the Friday Live Agile. By the way, next week, we are going to be in French. Oui, on va être en français pour mes 15-16%. Et d'ailleurs, dans les 8 nouveaux abonnés, je fais la bienvenue à au moins 2 francophones. Je ne sais pas où vous êtes, mais bienvenue sur Agile Lounge pour l'agilité d'affaires, qui inclut l'agilité organisationnelle en français. On s'en parlera peut-être la semaine prochaine pour faire un topo. Donc oui, vendredi prochain, ça sera le dernier vendredi du mois. Donc, il y aura peut-être un programme double, because we are going to do also the Day Real Agile podcast, amazing, 4100, and most of you are running, jogging, spinning while listening for my rant and my authentic leadership on all things business agility, again, because we dare real agile here with real people, not fake people. So that's going to be the program for closing the month. So expect the Friday Live Agile next week in French, here on LinkedIn, Twitter. Yeah, Twitter is back. Welcome back, Twitter. How are you, my bunch of Twitter? Because Twitter, it's more corrosive, you know, because you have LinkedIn, constipated Microsoft. Facebook, we are not there anymore. So if you see Agile Lounge on Facebook, this is not us. We are out of there because we preach upon what we teach, decentralized stuff and everything. And even though the only mainstream social network that yours truly and my team over at Agile Lounge will be kind of still pursuing to be in touch with you will be, of course, this growing YouTube channel. The LinkedIn, because it's kind of still the professional thing, but there, you see, they even give me a problem. I was a bit late. Instead of being there at 12, I was there at 12:05, because when I tried to push it, I got a warning from LinkedIn that I have to register again. Yes, they do that. That's the blue screen Microsoft, huh? Since the time they own by Microsoft, problems start to happen in terms of user experience, and also, let's be honest, user interface as well. Over at Twitter, they decommissioned Periscope, and finally, thanks to the team of Melon App, because everybody was screaming against Streamlab and Melon App. No, that was the social network that lack of sharing the SDK for integration. So that's the thing. It's all about the people first over technology. It's user experience, and we're going to talk about it very soon. Scrum beer, yes, my dear friend, we have a Scrum beer this November 24th. You had voted 7 out of 9 people. Anyways, I got like the date that you choose, guys, is going to be wrong. That's my other announcement. Sorry about that. I used to be better multitasking. Let me tell you that. But anyways, that's the magic of life. You cannot edit or do mistake. You just do a mistake, and we have the right to fail. So here it is. Yes, our Speakeasy VIP edition for November. So as I said, Wednesday, November 24th. It's on invitation only and a secret space. It's a Speakeasy. It's going to be a private place, a private house, and only those who subscribe. And I might put the link below kind of publicly in the first pinned comment of this video on YouTube. And but to tell you the truth, it's a maximum of about 13 people, responsible people that will stay home if they don't feel right. But let's gather together to speak about Scrum, to network a little bit. So it's VIP, selected follower of the Scrum Bear who will celebrate also in November its third anniversary. Could you imagine that? We started it as a user group, Scrum Alliance user group, back in the day, in late November of 2018 at the late, for me, brewery Quatre Origines in Pointe Saint-Charles. But now it's going to be an in-person event, speak easy, on invitation only. You receive, like back in the day for the people of my age, it's going to be kind of an amazing thing because my team, when you subscribe, you give us our phone number that we won't use anymore. We don't keep any information anyway at the Agile Lounge. And so you're going to receive 24 hours or 48 hours in advance, like the old time rave, the address and location to become. But to tell you the truth, it's going to be in the great southwest of Montreal, on the island of Montreal, across the Lachine Canal. I will say that much. So you'll be welcome to join us in that speakeasy for a selected few in this time of VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, but we're going to make it something great. So as I said, the only restriction we apply, if you are feeling sick the day of the event, stay the fuck home. That's all we ask. So, definition of done Scrum Achiever ways. What is this? Why did I and by the way, I was inspired to do this live spontaneously. I have a lot of subject from you, my subscriber, that I love, and from some other people, and also I got a list with my team to discuss. So we have subject to go all the way to the 100 episode, let me tell you. But when I received my mailing list from one of my coach, one of my CST, who actually granted me what you could see here behind, this little first certificate in 2016 as a CSM after 16 years of practicing Scrum and Lean mentality and adoption. So I received his newsletter, and he talked mostly about the question I read you before the intro. How long does a typical discovery session take to understand? So I would like to shout out my great coach, Mark Levinson over at Agile Pain Relief. So that was inspired by his. So he talked about, of course, this lean, agile, intelligent type of assessment. Yes. So are we spending time with assessment? I met some clients, some prospect lately, and one of their question was, "Oh, are you like the other firm, you at the Agile Lounge, to perform these type of long assessment of gathering information and testing our maturity into the team?" I said, "But well, let's be agnostic, and it depends. So let's talk more about your context, about your business context, about the size and scale of what you want to achieve as a business or digital transformation." So of course, I need to, more than these discovery call that we do, this discovery session that's mostly all for free. Sometimes I could have enough information there to start directly with a kickoff of the needs of the organization or the team to perform an introduction to Lean or Agile or sometimes DevOps, those three cultures. And then after, we are identifying all the way. So to tell you the straight answer, at the Agile Lounge, our approach, it's innovative and exclusive. When I say innovative, it's because we are uncovering new ways. We apply the introduction of the Agile Manifesto for software development at its fullest, which means that we'd like to discover and we bring back empirism into coaching and training Agile. And this is why we don't do academic training. If you want an academic training, and if you're a student of not John Molson School, but Des Hotels Schools or the Business School of McGill, maybe sometimes you have me in your course for the MBA and the management people at the bachelor and master level, where I'm going there to talk about business agility and all of these movement from Lean to Scrum. But I mean, this is academia. With the Agile Lounge, what we praise, and because we listen and understand our client, small, medium business, even the large scale business, what they want is get the shit done. Help us putting in place a system and framework tool that will help us deliver value rapidly. Yes, Stop fake it till you make it. If you don't know the fuck you talked about when you try to implement Scrum, if you don't understand subsension, again, to quote my master, Mike Beadle, if you don't understand the dynamic of interrelation and physics of subsension that you could apply into building a team, you don't understand Scrum, period. This is not an opinion. This is a fact. And by the way, speaking of Scrum, I just forget something like that's amazing because I'm going to do my Scrum Beer on November 24th, but I would like to invite all the real people who'd like to transform the world of work to the 13th annual Give Thanks for Scrum conference organized by my fellow Agile Boston that I praise so much. So Ken Schraber and Jeff Schutterland will be there with other amazing guests. David West from Scrum.org, you see. Harrison Owen of the Open Space Technology. Amazing. It's Open Space Agility. He's going to talk to us about this Zombie Scrum Survival Guide with Christian Versin and Johan Scatto. So it's going to be an amazing day. Virtual, unfortunately, this year again. Oh, and Peter Fischbach from, I think, Germany, from the Scrum Day event. Very nice gentleman. Dan Lefebvre, one of my first coach in Scrum back in 2004. He's an executive Scrum coach. I love Dan Lefebvre. So it's going to be an amazing event of core, real Scrum coach, Scrum people who will give thanks to Scrum, to the community. It's a 13th event. And of course, my upcoming trainer for my year of improvement, Daniel Mizik, that I have on the show 2 times, and 1 time at a great conversation we had on invitation-based change. So this is the real innovation that Agile Lounge and myself, I am proud to be part of this network of capable and amazing people. So I invited you to take your day. It's only like about $55 US. So take it. Again, in the pinned comment of my YouTube video, I'm going to put all the link of what I'm talking about today for you to enjoy and participate in it. So you'll be welcome. It's the 23rd, the eve of our Scrum Beer here in Montreal. All right, so a lot of people will expect this is a Friday live Agile show. It's a Friday. We relax. We have the music of my great lounge king, Mauricio Svenstrom, that a great DJ that I love, and part of the Lounge International Lounge Network, because yes, there's lounge in Agile is because we like to think very smooth, filthy, and most of our training sometimes, and we do workshop. They have some kind of nice music in the background. Sometimes it's Earth's music just to help your brain catching what you're learning. Yes, when I'm talking about innovation, we talked about innovation. It's things that I built with psychologists and industrial psychology. So we do amazing thing at Agile Lounge. We are not just training you on the conventional type of Scrum guide and this. Okay, we do the fundamental, of course, but we'll bring you where you want to be. Okay, if you want to be the Uber of your industry, or you want to try to become an upcoming, so this is it. And it's exclusive. Why it is exclusive? Simply because I don't have any one-size-fits-all. Of course, I've got some kind of canvases, but they are canvases. For the painter out there, you know what I'm talking about. It's a canvases, and my client are the pencils. My clients are the broom and everything, and we're going to build it together. We're going to make your frame. So the assessment, again, the lean agile assessment, the maturity check of your team. Well, when I do my business proposition, there's many kind of talk that we had before, sometimes with the guys from IT, sometimes with the guys from business, sometimes both together, with the people and culture, very important, especially if they want to go through a business transformation. So for me, make my client spend like all the way up to 2 weeks. And by the way, you've been very bad, LinkedIn. 1,000 views or more of my survey, no fucking vote on an easy question, because someone wrote to me in private 2 weeks ago that my question is hard to answer because the choice are blah, blah, blah. But now that was straightforward. How long as an agile coach or a consultant you spend doing to your client or organization an assessment? And there's an assessment to help them in their journey through a transformation. And again, I don't believe in agile transformation. There is a digital transformation for a business to be more digital, okay, in this day and age. And there's a business transformation because they maybe want to pivot, they maybe introduce completely new branch of services and product, they will go to innovation of their product. So it's going to be a big transformation, and they could not do it, especially with the uncertainty and the complexity of anything the world is offering us. So they cannot do it, okay, with the waterfall approach or any kind of classical or conventional approach. So they will need agile, but you don't transform agile. You use the agile or the lean systems or even the DevOps culture to bring on into your business and digital transformation. Here's the thing. This is the truth. This is not an opinion. It's a fact. And yes, we're there, we are agile here, and we are authentic. So if you don't like it, click the dislike button, but tell me why and comment. And if you talked about my attitude, well, I'm not just doing it for marketing. I'm doing it for the real thing. I'm doing it to spark and inspire people. Okay? Be bold, huh? Be bold. Proceed and be bold. And of course, we do it with respect. But if you think this is a window for me to become your agile coach, a little bit, yes. But I would like to attire. I've got an attitude, yes. I'm frank, I'm authentic. So what you see is what you get. You don't like it? Go have a yes man or a yes woman, a fake certified Scrum master or agile coach that doesn't know shit, that never experienced anything, that will mislead you. It's your choice. If you want just like a happy, submissive person, do it. But of course, I'm very funny to work with. I've got a lot of credential, and moreover, I am listening to you. And the exclusive part of our training and coaching is exactly it. You don't have any one-size-fits-all. I take pride of even the proposition. You never have like the same template. I'm always tailor it. I spend time making sure that according to our conversation, our meeting in the cafe, or the discovery call, we understand that. So for me, I think I answered it clear. It's no like 2 weeks, 1 days or kickoff. Maybe sometimes adapting to my client, of course, we could do a 2 weeks assessment because it might be important in the context, especially those public institutions or these big corporations that we have so many people to talk to. Because of course the assessment cannot be just made with the leadership. Leadership is sometimes the first one we see as a consultant, as a consulting service, professional service firm, right? So when we do that, of course we are with the leadership and we already know their vision of what they try to achieve. We already know. So sometimes, yes, of course, I would always say like, let me have, according to your size, your context and everything, what we want to do, let's have like at least one meeting, and then how many meetings will depend on how many people and how could we do that. Sometimes, I did what we call a kickoff, but it's not a kickoff. It's a presentation. And I always built a value list of things. I should have bring photo for that and I did one 2 years ago before this crisis with 200 people in the room. So my knowledge of open space become now very important, and we had scheduled it for 3 hours, but people were so engaged. They want so much to collaborate and draw on the wall and with post-it what they want, what they see, what they expect. Because here's the thing, instead of spending time with assessment, I think it's better to ask questions, ask directly to the customer and to their employees, their workers, what they want to achieve if they understand the things. So when I do these kind of kickoff, open space kickoff, I will ask the leadership from both business and IT and most of the context to come and speak and invite their team members and their people to the following. And me, I'm just acting as a facilitator. Yes, this great important skills that a lot of my fellow colleagues lack. because you just have to facilitate them, to spark them, help them doing their speech, making the question and preparing and so is that. So 200 people, we had a 3-hour schedule, and at some point as a facilitator, I said like, okay, you seem very engaged, you have a lot of things to say, so leadership, guys, would you like to go through the lunchtime? They said yes, and even after the lunchtime, we decided like it was like spontaneous like this. So you see, so that was an example. I'm not saying like we could repeat it. Maybe we could repeat it if it's your context. And some other times I could have someone who asked me like, oh, I would like you meet team by team and ask the same question, of course, because we have to, they want to make it like more continuous, and I do it. So here's the thing, when you really understand and listen and you pay attention to the context where you are going to do the mission, to help them embrace lean, agile, or DevOps, and then after like these Scrum, Kanban stuff, it's come later. So in our workshop, and we identify the things, and the maturity check, again, we could send a survey, it's 5-10 minutes, they answer it, I compile the result, and then we have a discussion on it, and we will then make proposition, because we are a consultant. So we'll make proposition of, okay, I suggest with this UX team, you should do it maybe that way. So it will require like a kind of a workshop to understand the basic of, I don't know, design mapping or customer journey, whatever. And then we're going to start also at a more scale level. How do we build team? So, and for that, you need the definition of done. You need to identify your achiever, because again, whatever, if I, for instance, take the example of the Scrum system, where we're going to configure it exactly for the context of the business, the market, including the culture of where is the organization, and the team needs of achievement. And we have to identify the achiever. This is, for me, it's a no-brainer, because yes, a lot of people, lately, I remember I participated into a kind of a webinar, and people were talking. It was not even an Agile conference or what have you. And they start, sorry about that, and they start talking shit about Agile. These guys are, Agile fails, Scrum is not good, Scrum is rigid. Hold on a second. Scrum is bold, it's hard, yes, it's hard, but it's not rigid, it's not prescribed. And you remember last year, a year ago, when I did my review of the Scrum Guide 2020 for the 25th anniversary, I was laughing at all of those people on LinkedIn, YouTube, whatever, doing a conventional yes men review to the two co-founders, that they were probably laughing like me, especially Jeff, that I know more, and Ken, who is the hardest cookie. I mean, come on, guys. A lot of people, like, their key thing is, Scrum is not prescribed. It was never, ever prescribed, even in 1993. And when they commercialized it in 1995, it's open and free. And you, Agile guy, do whatever you want with it. And if you read the book of Schreiber and Beadle, Agile Software Development with Scrum, there's a kind of a chapter that talked about the substantiation thing that will help you leverage the perfect tailoring of what you are going to teach the people. And by the way, that book was released in 1997, okay? 4 years before the Agile Manifesto for software development. Because now we are on the fourth wave with the next level agility that include conscious leadership and conscious capitalism and civil agility and decentralized governance. Have you following the thing, or you are still into the Agile Manifesto for software development and you do the verse and you apply it by heart like the PMP? Loser! You're a bunch of losers if you're doing like this. You just want money. You just want to be part of the industrial Agile complex. I said it wrong. It's Agile Industrial Complex. AAC. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. Be innovative. Be like, you are the world changing. You are the people we've been waiting for. So stop fake it till you make it. And get the shit done. Learn for real from the real. They're real Agile. They're real DevOps. Build it. Create it. Co-create it with your software developer, with your UX designer, with your business people, the marketing people. The HR for human relation. Yes. HR, if you want to keep HR, call it human relation, not fracking resources. I'm sick and tired of this old mindset. To uncover new ways, you have to be a rebel, a misfit. And you have to be clear and hard. So Scrum is not prescriptive. Scrum is not agile. So that was the two key things. They discovered that they removed the word agile from the Scrum guide of 13 pages. Yes. Yes. The truth will set you free. And you have the freedom of creating a satisfying work environment. This is the goal of Scrum. Is to deliver shit and go see your daughter playing soccer as soon as possible. So when you have consultant, agile coach, enterprise coach, change management agent that come in into business of all sizes, and they want to do a 2-3 weeks, 1 month assessment with big report and this and that and recommendation. Yes, why not? If you work for a constipated BNP Paribas, you'll do it. I did it. I make money. I pay my boat. I purchase Bitcoin. Why not? That's so funny. But the truth of the matter, they will say like, oh, Agile fell. Because they don't engage people. Okay? So, if you like it, press the like button. If you don't like it, press the dislike button. But tell me why in the comment. I'd like to improve. I'd like to tune my behavior. But today, I feel fire about this. Because the way I teach the Agile approach in adoption is not straight away to the 4 values and the 12 principle that I like to teach it with, especially if I have business people in class. So I get myself into the second wave with the modern Agile. What they did is great. It's more like holistic, more comprehensive for everyone. If you'd like to apply one of the 12 principles of bringing business and IT people together into a common goal of satisfying the customer. So I always introduce this big Agile movement that for me include the equation of the lean that was there before and the DevOps that is thereafter. Okay? So I always introduce it by agility. It's people first. Because it's your people that build, work, integrate, program, and use the pillar of technology that include the tools, the hardware tools. That's the people that will actually define the acceptance criteria of making that pillar of technology working. That's also the people that will agree upon the process and framework and the soft skill tool that they will need to satisfy the customer. And then the people first and the H2H movement of Mike Kramer. H2H. There's no more B2C or B2B. It's human and to human interaction. Substantion again. It's science. Let's bring back science, not just empirical approach. That's the core of science. But let's bring back the real, the objective reality. Not your fracking opinion that safe is better than less, which both are centralized framework that sucks, that won't get your client to be innovative and time to market if they want to beat, or be, should I say, if they want to be a kind of an Uber of their industry or something disruptive. Because Scrum is hard in that sense, it's not rigid, because it's completely configurable. And So people first. And then after, the second thing that I will bring up to explain what is agility and the lean thinking is that DOD, the definition of done, that people have to agree on a TWA, a team working agreement, with the acceptance criteria. And as you saw in the introductory video, where Ken Schraber was telling that the definition of done in the dictionary is when there's no more work to do. So if you have, well, let's take this one. If you have a fracking post-it on your Scrum board or your Kanban flow board, because whatever you work in sprint iteration or in the continuous flow of continuous integration and deployment, everything that you agree here, this end of year, because that's what I have here in French, this end of year things with my tax report, my statement, everything, it's going to be done. My end of year is going to be done when everything on the list will be done. And yes, keep it simple. I explain it simple. Other people will make a video of 15 minutes explaining the difference. Apparently, there's a difference between definition of done and acceptance criteria. Substantion, interrelation, and dynamic of substantion. So, in your definition of done, you have a frame of a task or a thing to do, shit to get delivered, meaningful value to deliver into the market. And your acceptance criteria, it's everything that need to be done, all the work, all the analysis, and everything to say the end of year of AFG Solution Inc. in Canada, it's done. It's because the criteria, and the criteria should, for things like, especially the product development or a service proposal, the done thing will also have to include the test. For those who watch my most popular video that I bring from my great guys in the Netherlands, you need your Scrum Master with Jan Sens. You saw in that video explained by Jeff Sutherland this context of it is not done if there's still testing to do, for instance. So yes, the testing will be one of this acceptance criteria, and from the acceptance criteria, a great QA person or even a great QC, quality control person, will be able to agree with the team and the engineer or what have you that produce the good, that they could also, like in the substantial way, definition of done, acceptance criteria, and all your test plan that's are from the acceptance criteria. Motherfucker. It's so simple. Yes, it is. I've been doing it for the last 20 years. Not the same way. Always adapted to the culture, the business. That's why I'm great. I'm sorry, I don't want to brag, but I am who I am. I'm in the green and the black, not in the red, because of that. I know some people don't like to work with me because I'm a Schraber of myself. I aim to be a Beetle of myself, or more soft, but I am who I am. But again, like Peter Drucker teach us in business school, you create your customer, and we have to fit together. So of course, I don't want to work with incapable people. And when I say that, I'm mostly pointing the leadership, those who don't have any leadership, who don't have any vision, okay, who don't care about their worker. And for them, which HR stands for human resources, and they're sourcing people, frag that. Of course, I don't want to be your agile coach. I want to be the agile coach of business of any size or team that really want to innovate and transforming the world of work, embracing empirically things to test. So maturity check, lean assessment. Give me a team, and in 3 hours, already transform them just by inviting them to make decision with a team working agreement. And there was a gentleman. Last weekend, it was a bit rainy here in Montreal. And sometimes when that happened, and between my cooking or my jogging and stuff, I risk to open my iPhone, go to LinkedIn or Medium or both at the same time, and see what are the latest article on Agile and stuff. Especially those I follow. Sometimes, you have on your feed, Daniel Mizik, answer to that thread, and you see the question, as an Agile coach, what was that again? That was so fucking loser. And I don't even understand why a great giant of agility and Scrum, well, like myself, I did last weekend, but anyways, why do we spend time with those kind of goofy people? And of course, it's create visibility, because this is the part of the doing stuff with the digital marketing, the LinkedIn that is linked out for me very soon, I think, because I'm so sick and tired. And again, a lot of people ask me, we don't see you that much anymore on social network. No, my life is not on social network. I'm in real life doing real Agile and real Scrum with real client and capable people that want to achieve and provide a great, amazing experience to their customer. But sometimes I spend time. And last week, there was that guy, completely a fucking troll. And he has in his circle of LinkedIn, a green circle, open to work. And I keep myself to write about I think you're going to be open to work for a while if you have this shitty attitude. Me, I've got an attitude, a bold attitude of Mokabi here. But it's sarcastic, and it's to shake you out a little bit. Of course, when I do professional services, I'm more tender. I tune my behavior, but this guy engaging with everyone in the feed. There were 130 commenters. He was everywhere. He nagged me like of course me. I don't put the notification on my phone, but as soon as I opened my LinkedIn, he was there picking me, telling me that I was wrong. I don't know shit and everything. And he was and I look at his profile, and I said fuck, this guy is a fucking fraud. He's a fucking fake. He's the very one that I pointed out in my fake certification podcast that he could listen on Spotify and Apple. So, and me, I was answering that instead of, the question was something almost like I asked. What is the first thing? Yes, as an Agile coach, what is the first thing you do with a new team that you have to introduce to agility? And of course, Danielle, that I praise, wrote something that I was agreed. So I clicked like. He says something like you have to gather with them and inviting them to engage and make decision. It is his thing. Inviting change, based change it's his things that I love, and I would like to learn from him to improve my teaching as well of doing this real open business agility and open space agility. And me, I said and let's add the fact that yes, and with whether this mindset or whatever, I'd love to have an open session, a kind of a kickoff. Generally speaking, of course, because we are in a thread, so I'm not giving you the extension of tailoring right now. But I said we should do a kind of a exclusive TWA, stands for Team Working Agreement, and within it, we could start identify their objective, their goal, the introduction to strategy, and everything that I could gather with them, and they will decide everything, including this definition of done with the acceptance criteria for every definition of done, and so on and so on. But it was not. It was more shorter. I gathered a team, we do a team working agreement, and from there we goes on, and this guy's start ranting and bullshitting about the work will not get done with a team working agreement. So he doesn't understand. And I don't have it with me. Maybe hold on a second. No, I don't. Sorry. But there's canvases from Scrum Inc. that I love, and then I adapt because they have to decide everything. We use it as a model to engage the conversation. So it's inviting, like Danielle is teaching us. And then the team is choosing and is deciding, and that will help every other continuous planning or continuous delivery if you are more in DevOps, okay? Throughout any release, throughout anything, and you're gonna get shit done because right on the spot at the beginning, because the team working agreement is the core with the shared vision that you have to have with the business. Before getting into the team working agreement, you have to understand the vision of the fracking company you're working for, of the product you are building, and then you have to put trust in the specialists and the people you hire for their skills, including soft skills, yes, aptitude and attitude, to get that shit done. And we want to surrender ourselves with achievers. That's what makes Scrum hard, because we surrender ourselves with people that want to get the shit done again and go spend time with their family as soon as possible to embrace real life. That's the goal. Period. And the journalists are like, there's nothing about getting the work done, so that's not really Scrum to doing that. And when I was writing my comment, I was exactly thinking of everything Jeff bring up with his canvases at Scrum Inc., his company. So this is why you identify a fucking fake coach, a fucking loser who is just there to talk shit instead of bringing value and showing that you could help your client. So that's why I like now I'm saying it. I didn't write it. I leave the conversation. But as a Friday kind of retrospective on my Friday Live Agile, I wanted to kind of spread it. And especially when you see a loser like this, I'm sorry, he's a loser, putting this green stuff open to work. And he thinks that by doing these kind of thread and trolling on LinkedIn, so I cannot imagine on the toxic Twitter how this is. So guys, I love it so much, but you know, an assessment should be done as you go along. You should bring empirism to this, get to know your people and your team, but adapt it to your content. And this aspect of achiever, oh yes, that's the thing. Because when I introduce agility, it's people first. Definition of done. You have to have a clear and explicit agreement of the definition of done. Because I told you, is the TWA, the team working agreement, is the core of a kind of a release planning of the kind of everything that you're going to do, move forward. The definition of done is the core of this team working agreement that will work on a common goal and a shared vision with the user, with the client, internally and externally. Okay? Because the customer is the most important person, the most important stakeholder. Because without customer, you don't have a business. And this is business, guys. Stop doing unicorn, pinky, rainbow stuff. Yes, it's important in the sense that as it's people first, we'd like to tune our behavior to be more in, but this is an editorial. This is to scream and be bold and shake you up. Don't confuse the behavior here between your great coach, smiley, tender, full of love, full of inspiration, and my editorial type of content to say like, hello, hello. Is there someone there who'd like to really work, would like to really please the customer in a good way, not as a yes girl or a yes boy, but with bringing the true value of why you are hired as a consultant. This is your definition of done as a fracking consultant, as a real agile coach. Scrum is a lean system. It's not for pussy. It's not rigid. It's completely configurable. Be aware of that. So, my beautiful lover of business agility and Scrum enthusiasm, I hope you like it. I hope you learned something. If you didn't like it, please tell me in the comment below for me to improve. And I'll see you next Friday en français and French. Next Friday, the 20... I'm all confused. The 29 already. Amazing. Halloween. And if you'd like to support the channel, of course, give me a thumbs up. Share this video randomly to anyone who would like to be sparked into the real Agile, the real Scrum, and over. And again, I invite you to the Scrum Beer, a speakeasy private Scrum Beer for 13 lucky VIPs. And of course, the 13th annual Give Thanks to Scrum. So this Thanksgiving weekend in the United States, we are going to have the 13th annual Give Thanks to Scrum, as well as the Scrum Beer. Isn't it amazing? So this is late November. You have 1 month to subscribe to be with us. So all the link will be in the pinned comment below this video on my YouTube channel, that growing YouTube channel. I suggest you subscribe and hit the bell. We are live every Friday at 12 Eastern, 11 Central. And sometimes we do other premiere stuff, smaller, shorter videos on things that our members and our subscribers want to know more about business agility, conscious leadership, Scrum all the way. And yes, people first, definition of done, and achiever who get the thing done. On that, have a beautiful weekend. And remember, you are wonderful people. You are let's do it again. Cut to ping. You are powerful. You are beautiful, and you are free to be whoever you want and to work in collaboration with others. Cheers, and have a nice weekend.